Next up, at UFC 322, we have a very sad-looking Gerald Meerschaert taking on a very high-shouldered Kyle Daukaus. Gerald Meerschaert, 37-20 in his career, 2-3 in his last 5 on an unfortunate 3-fight skid, taking on Kyle Daukaus, 16-4 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He is looking for his second UFC win in 2025. Gerald Meerschaert, first of all, I thought he was cut. I thought they cut Gerald Meerschaert. I was surprised to see that he was not cut, but he's not. And I guess it's because you know what you're going to get with Gerald Meerschaert. He will show up. He will try to win the fight. It's just a matter of if his body will hold up.
He's probably making $150K just to show up this day and age. He's been around forever. $150K to show?
75 and 75 you think he gets? Or you think he gets 150 just to show?
I think he will get like
150 to show is a lot.
He's been around forever.
He has been around forever, but they might just be like renewing his contract at the same terms. Just look up his last couple of fights. You'll find one of them will be disclosed pay. Gerald Meerschaert, you know what you're going to get. You're not going to get a quitter. He's been finished a shit ton.
His payout for 319 was an estimated $371,000.
That is crazy. They're paying this dude $400,000 in a loss.
It said 292. His guaranteed purse was $100,000. So I was right. Yeah.
That's nuts. He just got knocked out by Makhachev.
Dude, if you've been around the UFC forever, or if you've been there for a while, you just eventually just start making $200,000 or $300K.
Now I know why Jim Miller's not retiring. Holy shit. Well, you know what you're going to get with Gerald Meerschaert. He's going to come forward. He'll attempt kind of a sloppy takedown. He's got very dangerous jiu-jitsu. He will slug it out on the feet. The problem is the takedowns are just not as good as they need to be in most cases. Obviously very dangerous in jiu-jitsu, and he's tough. He's not a quitter. His body may quit on him, but he's not a quitter. He will get after it. He will give it his best effort. And if you are rolling around on the ground with him, you could end up in a little bit of a tricky situation. He's taking on Kyle Daukaus. Kyle Daukaus just made that long-anticipated UFC comeback, and he knocked out Michel Pereira. He knocked out Michel Pereira in an era where the FBI is investigating suspicious wins and losses. No accusations there. The reality is Kyle Daukaus is decent. He's not great. If you run through his UFC history, he doesn't have a win over anybody that is still employed outside the one we just saw with Makhachev. He's going to come forward. He'll swing a little bit. He'll try to get a fight to a ground. High-level grappler. Impressive 82% takedown defense. The takedown accuracy also pretty bad, only 25%. He did just knock out Michel Pereira in 43 seconds with a beautiful bink right to the side of the head as Michel was rushing in with his hands low. I don't know what the deal is with these odds. I understand that Gerald Meerschaert gets finished and people have no confidence in Gerald Meerschaert. I understand Kyle Daukaus just got a really good win. Michel Pereira is a very good fighter. But Michel Pereira in his last couple of fights is not the Michel Pereira that we have seen. He's very different, whether that's on purpose or not. He's been different. So Kyle to get a win over a deflated Michel Pereira and Gerald Meerschaert to be a 3-1 dog does feel a little wide. I still think Kyle wins this fight. I think Kyle can defend the takedowns, and then he's probably the better striker. And I think that's what this fight is. I think this is a surprisingly bad fight. I do not think this is going to be a very entertaining fight. I think Gerald's going to be desperately looking for the takedowns, not get them, and Kyle's just going to be doing whatever he can do to stay safe. Kyle's going to be the pick. I'm just leaving. I think he wins. I would just be a little careful with bets on this fight. What do you think, Jacob?
No, and this is going to sound, I don't know how this is going to sound, but nobody, in my opinion, should be losing to Gerald Meerschaert in November 2025. I think it just feels like we should be past the point. We've run out of people. Nobody at this point that matches up with Gerald should be losing to Gerald in 2025. I mean, that guy, and this is from, I had McCall. I did have Michel in that fight, but McCall Olajay, or whatever the fuck his name is, against Gerald Meerschaert, had a first-round knockout, said he was going to win by knockout, all this stuff. And people were very high then of like, oh, Gerald, first-round solo. Gerald's not good. The guy can't strike. He's got okay power, but he just throws like just a lumbering right hand. Doesn't have good takedowns at all. If you get to the ground, he's a good grappler, but Kyle's a good grappler as well. So I look at this fight and I'm like, nobody should be losing to Gerald November 2025. But minus 350 for a Kyle Daukaus. I'm like, God.
Crazy.
I put it on Twitter. I said the thing I'm wrestling with mentally the most is betting Kyle Daukaus, because it literally is like both shoulders are like, dude, just bet against Gerald and you make money. Like, you bet against Gerald and you just print money. And then I'm looking at his Kyle Daukaus, and I'm just like, oh, God. Oh, God. So I'll probably eventually do it. He shouldn't lose this. But I just see like a random slow Gerald just stick right hand, and all of a sudden this guy's on the ground and Gerald's on top of him. You're like, oh, fuck. It's Kyle Daukaus. And people are like, yeah, he looked good in his it's like, it was 30 seconds. Like, you don't really know. Like, you don't really know yet. You don't really know until you know.
Listen, I agree with you. In my quick picks, my exact words were Kyle Daukaus has no business being in the same room as minus 350 odds. So I get it. He's not a 4-1 favorite kind of fighter. But to your point, sometimes
like I wish I could have seen more. Like if he was like sticking Michelle and then footwork, and then it's like, okay, it's like, oh yeah, we're fucking Kyle Daukaus minus 5. I don't give a fuck. Inside that first round, hell yeah. And I might play him first round because he comes in with a nice new confidence, because he went right at Michelle. I mean, he fucking was like not afraid of Michelle, so there's no way he's going to be afraid of Gerald. So Kyle Daukaus first round, I think you just play it like that and just see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I said in the quick picks as well, I know for a fact I'm going to see a whole bunch of GM 3x sub comments, a ton of them, and just like a Hail Mary full of grace kind of bet, but his takedowns suck. So how does this end up on the ground? He's got bad takedowns. So he's just going to have to rely on somebody taking him down.
He literally could shoot a takedown. Kyle pulls guillotine because he's a jiu-jitsu nerd, ends up on his back, gets worn down because it happened in the first 30 seconds of the fight. Now it's just a sloppy striking match because Kyle historically doesn't really have power. He was not really a striker anyway. Then Gerald gets another sloppy takedown, and then everyone with Kyle and all these parlays are be like, oh no.
Yeah, listen, I don't think I don't think this is going to be a great fight, but it certainly could be. But if it is, it's just going to be sloppy as hell. We don't have a ton of bets, but there are a few bets on this fight. If you want to check them out right now, go to WeWantPicks.com. Click Become a Member at the top. Unlock every single bet we have already placed. Unlock every bet we're about to place. Unlock every bet we have and will place for not only UFC 322, but UFC 323, UFC Qatar, and the fight night that closes out the year. Just go to WeWantPicks.com and click Become a Member at the top.